Hi, I'm Dustin Mattingly. I am your SI leader. You've probably got some of my messages on course. I'm going to walk through some problems on the practice test. It should be available in the resources tab on course, as well as a practice test with the answers all worked out. I'm just going to walk through some of those problems. There's quite a few that you need to use your calculator for, and it's kind of pointless for me to work calculator problems on dry erase board. So just a handful of them. We're going to start off with problem number 1, okay, and it's solve graphically. So she gives us two linear equations, the first one being x plus 2y equals 4, right? And the second one being 2x plus y equals a negative 1. So to solve graphically, she wants us to graph each of these functions, and to see where they intersect is the point in which x and y can be the same for both equations, and they'll work out. So we're going to take the first one, and we're just going to make a table. And we're just going to pick 2 points. All we need is 2 points to make a line. So I always go with a 0 for both of them and then solve them out that way, because it's just easy, right? If we plug in a 0 for x, we're left with 2y equals 4. Well, algebraically, if 2y is equal to 4, we can divide the 2 out on both sides, and then y equals 2. We got a point. Just like that, we plug in the 0 for the y. Well, the 2 times 0, that's 0, that cancels out, so then we're left with x equals 4. That wasn't too bad, right? So let's graph that. We got 0, 2, and 4, 0. Great if I had a ruler, but I don't. So I'm just going to do something like this. Good enough, right? And we'll make sure that we label that. That way we aren't confused as to which line is which. So just like with the first one, we're going to do the same thing with the second one, right? So we're going to make a table, x and y. And I'm going to go with zeros again because it works out so nice. I'm going to plug in the 0 for x, 2 times 0, 0. Left with y equals negative 1. Not too bad. Then we plug in a 0 for the y, and we're left with 2x equals a negative 1. Well, if 2x equals a negative 1, we divide the 2, going back to our algebra, and we're left with x equals a negative 1/2. Alright, so now we graph that. We got 0, negative 1, and a negative 1/2, 0. And do those lines, or that line. And it'll work out a little nicer on yours than it does on mine, but it's roughly about here, right? So we can see that that's a negative 2 and a 3. And that's it, that's our answer. You can always go back and check these answers. If you plug in the negative 2 for the x and a 3 for the y, you'll see that both of the equations work out as 4 and negative 1, and that's how you know that it's the point of intersection.